on the topic of choosing an unconventional career options, myth or reality. Career, yes, it is that one word which has the maximum potential to confuse our already confused minds. There was a time when a successful career, according to our society, is all about being able to fulfill our than to follow our dreams. But change is the only constant of nature. What was unconventional yesterday is today a commonplace thing and tomorrow will be obsolete. The same stands relevant for career options too. There was a time many decades ago when engineering and management course was unconventional and very few enrolled for the courses. But today the scenarios have changed. As per India Today report 2019, there are around 93% of students aged 14 to 21 years were aware of just 7 career options. Though there are more than 250 different types of job options are available in India. But again, the study further state that if professional institute make an attempt to incline students' minds towards unconventional career options, probably the unemployment crisis could be minimized. This is a report of the year 2019. Therefore, to unlearn the misconception, the Institute Placement Cell has decided to organize this today's exciting webinar. Without a delay, I welcome Kohai team, Mr. Abhishek Dubey, Mr. Amrit Raj, and Ms. Swati Khandelwal for accepting our invitation to deliver a virtual session in our today's program. And I request Dr. Smita Shukla, the Director of Institute, to give her introductory remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, Kavita. I believe I am visible now. First of all, I welcome Shri Abhishek Dubey, Shri Amrit Raj, and Ms. Swati Khandelwal. They have agreed to deliver this virtual session, as Kavita has stated. I thank you all three of you. When we talk about unconventional career, as Kavita rightly said, at least during our time, the career options which our parents always used to ask us to opt for were as follows. They asked us either you can be an engineer or you can be a doctor or you can be a teacher. So here I am a teacher. Kavita definitely has opted for relatively unconventional career option, placement officer. Yeah, so it's a hard choice. But yes, till date, there are myths which are existing. I'll again speak from my personal experience. My daughter is in graduation third year. She has opted for design as a career. So while she was in class 10th or 11th, I do not recall, but one of these years, and she said that I want to be a designer. And within that, she said, I want to be a graphic designer. The opposition at home was ki graphic designer who becomes a graphic designer, and the kind of feel was that you can learn graphic designing as one of no computer courses. Why you need to choose that as a career option? Later on, once she opted for design as full-fledged career, she opted for designing in humanizing technology. And till date, whenever no people ask me, okay, so what your daughter is doing, and I say that he is into design, they said they generally their response is, okay, so she's doing fashion designing. So that is the way no the perception goes. So when you opt for career which is very unconventional to begin with, there are issues because people just do not support you because they do not understand that what you are getting into. So you are kind of no fighting with sometimes very closed ones which are there in your family, and later on you are labeled as, okay, he is doing something which we do not understand, so whether it is well enough. So there are always issues with opting for very unconventional, but in the long run they are generally, I have seen and observed, they are generally very fruitful. say for example, when I supported my daughter for her unconventional career choice, I was very clear that I wanted her to do whatever she wanted to do. I'm still not sure where she too, but I was very clear that she has to do what she wishes to do. So, without saying much, I'll say that all the three invited speakers today have opted for very, very unconventional career choice. They run a company which again is into a very unconventional space. I have been to your website and I've seen what you all are doing. So I'll not say much. Let me welcome you once again, because you are going to state what you have to state. So welcome you once again, Shri Abhishek Dubeji, Amrit Raj, and Swati Khandelwal. Welcome, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Smita ma'am, for such a wonderful start and sharing your experience regarding unconventional career choice for your daughter. And definitely today it's going to be very exciting, because some or the other time we all used to get this dilemma that what should be our career and how we need to start with this. Before I start the session, I have three instructions for the participants. One, please keep your audio and video in mute mode. Second, write your question in chat box addressed to all. However, I have already shared your question to the dignitaries so that they will cover up in their talk while delivering the session. And third, we will also share with all of you the feedback form. So kindly fill up the feedback form and give your feedback about our today's session. So here, now I introduce to one, Mr. Amrit Raj sir. Sir is the CEO and founder of Kohai, also the co-founder of Lab Cafe. He is a mechanical engineer from NIT Jamshedpur and trying to build an environment for students towards monitoring and ensuring their life wellness. Thank you, Amrit sir, for joining us today. We have another guest from Kohai, Mr. Abhishek Dubeji. He is the co-founder of Kohai, production engineering by his academic background from NIT Jamshedpur and ex-Tata Motors employee. Once again, you are also welcome for this webinar, sir. And Ms. Swati Khandelwal, ma'am, a team of Kohai. Madam is also the co-founder of Kohai. She handles children's issues specialist who has consulted with various healthcare organizations. Madam has done her MBA from IIM Bangalore, and she has also done her post graduation in psychology. Swati ma'am, I also welcome to this webinar. And I think, Swati ma'am, can you hear us?
Yes, Kavita, thank you so much. Thank you for welcoming us on this platform and giving us this opportunity to come forward and talk about this topic. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you once again to all the dignitaries for joining us. So now I think we are going to start the session formally. And as it is a very interactive session, so we don't just want to keep it like a monologue. So there are some set of questions which participants have already written while filling up the Google form for attending the session. So that questions we have compiled it together. So I think that is something which we are going to take it in our today's webinar, and also your important message to all the participants and how they should lead a very happy life forever. Okay, so so here we start now. So my first question to Amrit sir. Okay, so sir, today we have chosen the topic about unconventional career. So I want you to let us know first what is career, what is conventional and unconventional career, and how you have decided to build up your unconventional career.
Okay, so thank you, Kavita ma'am. Thank you, Smita ma'am as well. In fact, the entire department as well, for bringing us here and providing us this opportunity. So I'll just say I'm Amrit, and just we should. I would just like to answer your question also. Uh, Career is like something which is a very broad term. Okay, now career is taken in many manners. Okay, For me, it is like a resurrectable journey in which you have various plan A's, plan B's, in which you are there to delegate those plan A's and also keep plan B's in the hindsight, so that कि क्या पता plan A चले ना चले, है ना? तो something which motivates me to act on. Now, these motivations can be from many things. Like it can be out of my interest area. For me, it is for like interest area number one. Something which motivates me, which keeps me going on. Like, कि हाँ, in fact, for many of us all around here, if it does not interest you, you won't be getting into it. First of all, and then there comes various supplement other things in which you take them and imbibe them in you and accordingly work around so as to earn a livelihood. In many cases the livelihood comes up to the forefront, which is called a job. Okay, now when you take a career option and you are motivated towards it, it's a journey, and when you are moving ahead in that journey, there are various I would say regulatory checks in that. Supposedly, if you have taken a career in like engineering, I chose it engineering. I didn't choose it as it was offered to me. Okay, back then in 2007, 2008. So it was due to the society I was living in. In fact, I am living in that society even today. So in the kind of course of the journey towards my career, I have met many a lot of people. I got influenced, and that is how I coined out what can be the two possibilities, or the first possibility, or the first place which I should take up. And accordingly, I chose it. And when I chose it, I also found difficulties. Then also there comes कि किस तरीके से उस difficulty को solve करना है so that कि I move ahead, keeping my interest aligned. Now there is always a अंतर्द्वंद basically जिसको बोलते हैं कि there's always an inner tussle between your heart and happiness, or your interest and your heart's calling. So that is always going on, and in which you then decide कि हाँ क्या लेना चाहिए, मेरे को क्या करना चाहिए इस पोजीशन में. So I have many friends, I have many friends, those who had taken engineering and they chose mechanical engineering. Okay, back then in 2008, they did their engineering, but then later on they decided that they want to do coding or they wanted to do management. Why? Because there can be many things. There could be a possibility that ये challenging नहीं लग रहा है शायद, या फिर पैसे इसमें कम मिलेंगे शायद, या फिर there can be an opportunity कि नहीं इसमें मैं feel good अच्छा नहीं कर रहा हूँ कुछ सालों बाद. So then they change it. Now comes the point of conventional and unconventional career path. So if I say how to differentiate between them, I can have my definition of differentiation. Many people, others who are in this webinar, would have their own definition. What is conventional for me might be unconventional for others. What is unconventional for what is conventional for them might be the vice versa. Okay. Now this is a mathematical function. Okay, it works in that manner in which you are able to decide whether it is conventional or non-conventional. It depends upon various things. Now if I say the first reason or first factor to determine the difference would be how many number of people are into that market size or into that market area. Supposedly engineering है या फिर commerce है या फिर medical है या फिर arts है या there are various other things. These have their domains. जब अपन class 10th में decide करते हैं या 11th में decide करते हैं कि what should be my career options. That defines कि आपके लिए conventional क्या है, जिसमें ज्यादा लोग जा रहे हैं, अगर उसी में आप जा रहे हैं तो हो सकता है conventional हो. ठीक है, इसमें भी एक रियलिटी चेक है कि क्या वो जो लोग सबसे ज्यादा उसमें जा रहे हैं, ये इस चीज पे डिपेंड नहीं करती कि उसमें रिस्क कितना है. नाउ दिस आल्सो encaptures another reason where there is or I would say volumization of risk factor, risk appetite. जब आपका बहुत लोग उस चीज को if there are people okay sorry fine, I'll continue with English. There are people in various domains who are taking up various career paths in which they say that there is no risk. They can only say this when they have seen the proof of the concept, when they see that many people have taken this job or this career path and they find it key, now I can also do this because I am also of the same circumstance. Because of those circumstantial scenarios, they imbibe in them that no, this is what I can do, and this is where people can call it a risk. I can call it my interest area. The third part which comes into play is location. It always depends upon the society or the location in which you are there. Like if I say back then in 1990s or upper 2000s, probably around 2004 2005, stand-up comedy was like an unconventional career. But today if we see, there are many stand-up comedians, okay, like Zakir Khan is there, Tanmay Bhatt is there, like various other dignitaries are there in this domain. So when this proof of concept has been validated, only then people think that whether should I take it or kind of should I think of something else. That is how this proof of concept plays in the location area. Jab, in the areas where those are very outskirts, or like Kangna Ranaut is an actress. She comes from a very small background, like from a very middle class background. And in those areas, people do not think of becoming an actress. But having done the hardships, she found that, that is what we will call as an unconventional career. Many things depend upon the grooming and conditioning, or like an ecosystem in which you are kind of nourished, family members in which you are along, kind of every time you are with them. Now if I talk about 2000s or 1900s, 1990s or 1995s, my parents were of mindset ki you should have a government job, and if you don't have a government job, you would be landing up nowhere. Kind of the government job gave us security, government job gave us mm, assurance that yes, your career is in a good path. So that was conventional. If a person thought of no, I should go ahead with the private sector, that was considered as a non-conventional. So if I say practically about me, back then in 2007 when we chose, we should go ahead with I should go ahead with engineering. Luckily, I got into NIT Jamshedpur, and then when I decided, I would go ahead with mechanical engineering, it was conventional. Okay. Now, when I decided I would land up a job, that was conventional. I landed up a job. I secured a job in Jindal, worked for 3 to 4 years. Sorry, in fact, 4 years. And when I worked there, I got surrounded with people who were like-minded, who were like thinking ahead of the age. Now, people around us were talking about the startups. And then we thought, we should do something in this domain, in this education domain. If we see in that age, in 2015, we started Lab Cafe. And later on, we interacted with a hell lot of people. And when we interacted with them, we found it conventionally well. This is the right path which I have chosen. And I love doing my job. In fact, I have an interest area. My heart is satisfied, and that is what I call as conventional. But people who are from different locations might call it unconventional, because they might be of different locality, of different society, of different thought process, of different family orientation. So that is how the conventionality of the career path is kind of I would say उसी हिसाब से इसको ये देखा जाता है. एक शायरी है. Yes sir. Yes ma'am. Ma'am, you're not audible. You're not audible, ma'am. It's not audible, ma'am.
You are on mute.
You're on mute, I guess.
I'm so sorry. I said, sir, continue. Continue your shairi.
Okay. So it's not a शायरी, it's a two-liner. Basically, जो किसी के लिए अमूमन है या जिसके लिए बोलते हैं नॉर्मल है, वो किसी और के लिए अनोखी हो सकती है. ठीक है. तो that is how I say, मतलब each person who has decided their own career path can be beautiful for some other's story, for some other life, and can be conventional. Until unless it is not conventional for oneself, it cannot be unconventional for others. Okay, that is what I would like to say. This is it.
Correct. So a very nice way to start with, and one thing which has amazed to me with this Kohai team, that especially if I talk about you and Abhishek sir, you both have a very different background and you have entered into the psychology professions. So sometimes it becomes very difficult for all of us to come up with our own, blockage that whether we should take a step or we should not take a step ahead. But once you decide to take a step ahead in your life, then I think you should start working hard to make your passion as a success and make your passion to become a dream reality for you, because you have chosen as an unconventional path. I completely agree with you, Amritsar. Now my next question comes to Swati ma'am. From psychological perspective and especially from management perspective, from which we all are, belongs to. So Amritsar set the tone very rightly, that conventional unconventional career, it's all depends from your perspective. So here, then I want to ask you that if I'll ask you, Swati ma'am, that what kind of skill set one needs to have to be successful in his or her career choices, and how to develop a competitive advantage to differentiate yourself from your peers.
Thank you, Kavita. I think Amrita has beautifully explained what is conventional and what is unconventional. It's all about the mindset in the end. What you think is conventional for you can be unconventional for someone else, and vice versa. So, and I think Kohai is also working on, how you can have a beautiful mindset. Now, your question is very right. Like, what are the things that can drive us, and what are the skill sets which are required in the present technological scenario, and as the world is evolving day by day, what is that we need? What is that we are lacking? To answer that question, if we see human evolution, we started as an entrepreneur itself, where we were inventing and innovating fire, we were building wheels, we were coming with industrialization, we were coming up with farming and other kind of practices. So we had some kind of coding in our DNA itself of an entrepreneur. But lately, as the industrialization and corporatization increased, and more companies came up, we started looking ourselves as an employee. Now, we already had that spirit of innovation, ideation, creation as a human being, but in the entire journey of human evolution, somewhere I feel that we kind of lost that feeling. Now, when I say this, I do not mean that we have to start a new company or we have to become a startup company, we have to actually be an entrepreneur, but we have, considering what is happening today everywhere around the world, it's very important that we rediscover our entrepreneurial instincts, because that is very important for us to move forward in a environment which is created now, when there's everything is available on technology, everybody's so competitive, uh, there's so much competition all around. We are confused what to opt, what not to opt, how to move forward, even if we have opt something, how to actually move forward in that. So we have to sit back and then again think about ourselves, like suppose we are a if we think ourselves as a startup, as an individual, suppose we think we are a startup, how we will move forward. Now, what is the current scenario? Let's talk about what is the current scenario and how a startup works in a current scenario. So the reality and the practical part is that the current scenario is very competitive. It's a very fast paced environment. We have limited resources in terms of finance and uh, availability. Limited resources, when I say limited resources, it can be finance and availability of right information at the right time. So there are stages where we are uncertain because there's so much information or so much noise around that we are unable to understand which is the right information. So it is exactly how a startup works. So they are working in a very high risk and high pace environment. They have limited resources and they have lack of information. So as an individual, we should consider ourselves as a startup, and how a startup moves and how a startup develops. We have to develop all those competitive qualities in us. Whether we choose X career or Y career, it doesn't matter. but there need to be certain things that we have to understand and move forward, and apply to our career choices. Kind of thing. So how does a startup work? So startup always consider that they are in a beta phase. So one should always consider that you are in a beta phase. Now, what is a beta phase? To explain what is a beta phase, so every time, even if you have an iOS phone or an Android phone, you always get an update. You keep getting an update from your phone that, okay, there's an update, reboot your phone. Now, what is the meaning of that update? That means they have done certain changes in the software which were in the beta phase. They tested and tried and debugged it, right? So that part is beta phase. Once that phase is over, they say, okay, finally download the new update and go forward with it. So we should try and keep ourselves and reminding ourselves that the current environment is such that we should be in beta space. That means we have to keep learning, keep evolving, keep debugging ourselves. We have to understand and appreciate the qualities which we have, the capabilities which we have. Together with that, we also have to accept something which we are lacking, and we can further evolve in that. So acceptance of our failures or something that we are not good at is also very important these days. Once you accept it, then you can learn about it, you can evolve better in that. So we have to consider these qualities whenever we are choosing a career path or moving ahead professionally in a career. And we should be ready to pivot in a new path as well. So we should have some flexibility and adaptability in ourselves to understand that, okay, probably this strategy is not working, but we can work out a plan B for that. So I think these are the important skill sets, which probably we can name under you should have a competitive advantage. That is very important. You should understand what is happening in the industry or what the people of the similar kind are doing, and how you can have a special USP give in the same scenario. So you have to sit back and think about your capabilities, your abilities, what are you good at. So develop a competitive advantage. Then you should have a adaptation to the scenario and the situation you are there. Thirdly, I can say you need to have really strong professional network. It's very important that you connect with like-minded people, you help like-minded people, you develop a community of your own, where initially you should try and give more to the community. You should help people, you should connect people. You might have to do work without getting paid to learn and evolve further, and probably take intelligent risk. So these are the important qualities one should have in the current times to pursue any career choice.
Okay. So pursuing to your this point related with professional networking, I agree with you that once you develop your competitive advantage, it is very important for every individual who wants to be their successful career to do a very sound and smart networking. But there are lots of misconceptions or unawareness that how to do this professional networking. So is it, can you just tell us more about that, how one you should do professional networking, and what could be the systematic approach to do the
Sure.
professional
Uh,
networking?
sure. Thanks, Kavita. Very good question. So I would say when you talk about professional networking, it's like I to the power V. Now, what does that mean? It means that your power rises exponentially. Exponentially is the word I'm telling you. If you have a good network, you need not have to be what I would say transactional when you develop a network, right? Now when I say transactional, what does that mean is sometimes people feel that, oh, this guy is asking me to help him, what am I getting in as a benefit out of it? So we should not think that way, that we keep having a scorecard about where we have helped somebody or where we have given our contribution, right? Because we have to understand that is a learning and evolving phase for us, right? Try and help people without any score or without um, you know uh, a feeling that you will get back something. What you will get back in return is trust, um, from that person or the network of people that you are helping out, and you will be an authentic, and your credentials will be sound whenever you would need help from someone else. So you really need to mingle up with like-minded people. Suppose you want to choose a career, maybe in writing. Suppose that is the career choice you want to put forward. So you should try and contact people who are wanting to have some kind of content written for them. Write for them, write content for them, connect to writers and different authors, and talk to them, ask them if they can give you some kind of work where you can learn and evolve with these kind of professional people who have already excelled in their careers, right? So this is how you develop network. So you have to go and give something to the world, right? Because you should not take it as a giving, right? You should take it as you're learning, you're evolving. When you are with these kind of people, if you're working with great authors, obviously you are going to get exponential amount of knowledge from these people, and you will have a very solid network. So really go ahead and build genuine relationship with good professionals around you, help them, and in return you will get best of the result in the time period which will be coming. I would say LinkedIn is a very strong and very good platform where you can build a great professional profile. Everybody should be there on LinkedIn. Build connections aggressively. Contact people who you like, who you admire, who you idolize, who you think can help you in your journey forward, who you think can inspire you, who you think can motivate you. From wherever you can learn, please contact people and do it very aggressively, and keep writing about or adding content about things you like or your capabilities or what you want to pursue. So it's build up to your profile, and people coming to your LinkedIn profile, they see your passion and your work against your capabilities. I would frankly say LinkedIn is a new kind of resume these days. So if people are hiring somebody, they simply go and check the LinkedIn profile to understand what this person is looking into, what are the capabilities, what is he writing about, what he genuinely feels about. So you should definitely check out LinkedIn and build strong connections there.
Yeah, right. So I think this is a very important point which you have mentioned, that nowadays in this virtual platform we all are on LinkedIn, and I think through LinkedIn the communication also happens faster, and professional networking is very essential when you talk about unconventional career options to build off. So from here I proceed further, and I ask my another question to Abhishek sir. So this is regarding not unconventional career options kind of a things, because already the strength and how to build it up has already been Amrit sir and Swati ma'am.
Yeah, a bit hazy
Voice,
there.
Voice is
Voice
speaking.
was bit at weekend.
The risk of failure is
Yeah,
high.
so now it's
Can you hear me?
Thank you, Kavita
Can
ma'am.
you hear me?
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
So,
Is it okay? Can I?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
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 okay. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm very much here. Yeah. Thank you. Sir, my question.
I think there's a disconnect. I think there's it's not audible, ma'am.
Yeah.
There is some network issue, I guess.
Not an issue.
Yeah, I think there is. Can you all hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you all hear me? Can I ask?
I at Kavita's end there are some network issues. Uh, So my request will be, Abhishek, I think you could hear part of the question, right?
Yes, ma'am, it's about risk.
Yes. So you continue. She will join in some time. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, if we talk about risk, so first define risk. What is risk? So, it's a possibility of something bad happening. It's having an emotion which is fearful, and it's okay to be fearful. And शेर है कि क्यों डरे जिंदगी में क्या होगा कुछ ना होगा तो तजुर्बा होगा. So डर तो लगेगा, but that should not overpower your mind if you have clarity on your career choices. And if you talk about risk is mostly overrated, man. Talk about कि इसमें बहुत ज्यादा रिस्क है, तो इतना ज्यादा इस पे बात की जाती है कि लोग डर जाते हैं कि वो रिस्क लेना भी चाहिए या नहीं. So basically risk और uncertainty में लोग कंफ्यूज कर जाते हैं. There is a confusion between risk and uncertainty. Uncertainty mostly होता है, risk कम होता है. Uncertainty की जब बात करें तो basically there is a lack of information. There is a lack of information about the future scope. There is lack of information about how should you do it. There is lack of information about what should be our further action plan. There is a lack of information who should we meet to who should we meet so that we can get a better clarity on our career choices. So basically, it is mostly uncertainty which makes us fearful and not the risk. So basically, if you talk about risk, I'll make it short since we are running out of time, I guess. So if you talk about risk, so first of all, you should consider your age and the stage at which you are taking the risk, because you might be having some point of your age where there is a that you have more of a responsibility, you have more of a liability, so you should also consider those into your action if what will happen if nothing will spread out. So you have to consider your age and stage while taking risks, and you should also consider that you should not be get lured by the safer options. हर बार लगेगा कि क्यों रिस्क ले, सेफ ऑप्शन चूज कर ले, या फिर कहें कि क्यों ना कन्वेंशनल करियर की जब हम बात करें तो कन्वेंशनल करियर ले लें. बट यहाँ पे फिर आपका आता है कि आपका पैशन क्या है, आपकी कॉलिंग क्या है, ये आपको हेल्प करेगी आपको डिसीजन लेने. तो यहाँ पे आपका जो है फाइनेंस जो होगा ये शुड नॉट बी अ प्राइमरी मोटिवेशनल फैक्टर, नहीं आना चाहिए. तो बेसिकली मैं एंड करना चाहूंगा कि परस्यू अपॉर्चुनिटीज वेयर अदर मिस परसीव रिस्क, such as jobs which are paying less cash although but have immense learning. वहां पे जहां पे लर्निंग ज्यादा हो वहां पे आप जॉब लीजिए rather than you go for the finance part. So यहाँ पे वो हो जाता है. फिर अगर चाहे तो पार्ट टाइम गिग्स कर लीजिए जहां पे लेस स्टेबल होगा, लेकिन वो फुल टाइम जॉब से लेस स्टेबल होगा, बट आपको वहां पे लर्निंग काफी मिलेगी. वहां पे आप ले सकते हैं. जैसे किसी भी स्टार्टअप में आप अगर जाओगे तो वहां पे हो सकता है कि आपको वर्कलोड भी ज्यादा हो, आपको पेइंग कैपेसिटी भी, आपको पे भी कम मिले, बट वहां पे लर्निंग इतनी ज्यादा होती है कि आपका होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट हो जाता है. तो आप लर्न इतना अच्छा से बेटर कर पाते हो कि अगर आप उसको कंटिन्यू करना चाहो तभी बेहतर है, या अपना खुद का कुछ करना चाहते हो तभी कुछ बेहतर है. तो आप उससे कोपिंग मैकेनिज्म आ जाता है कि आप कहीं भी वो एक्सेल कर पाते हो. सो अपॉर्चुनिटीज वे रिस्क आर हाईली पब्लिसाइज्ड, वहां पे आपको हमेशा रहना चाहिए. तो ये बेसिकली रिस्क लेने के सारे फैक्टर होते हैं, इसमें आप ले सकते हैं. सो इट्स ओके टू बी फेयरफुल. सबको डर लगता है, सबको सब चीज लगता है, बट वही मैं लास्ट में वही बोलूंगा, क्यों डरे जिंदगी में क्या होगा कुछ ना होगा तो तजुर्बा होगा.
So, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Thank you, Smita ma'am, for managing this part. And I think this is one of the wonderful message which Abhishek sir you has given to all of us.
Ma'am, your voice is again.
Okay, so my last questions to all of you, because as I understand that you all, and then you have decided to come up with Kohai. I am very curious, especially Amrit sir and Abhishek sir, to know from your end that how you are functioning at Kohai. You also mentioned about Lab Cafe. So I want if you just tell
Ma'am, your voice is cracking again.
the participants so that it will motivate.
Okay. I think I get that. I get that question. So to add on to basically, I would say there are many paths which you would always get, in fact, in your life, or you would be pressed or like pressured. There would be certain pressure conditions in which you would be asked to perform. Okay. Now these things come from a very old things like which you have done in the past. Okay, like back then when I was starting along with three other people. Okay, um, during the lab cafe times, it's kind of by the God's grace, it's doing good today. When I thought of starting, I had to convince my parents. In fact, I find out a question over here. Ki, how to convince our parents to believe that the career which we have chosen is going to be good for me in the future. Like every parent wants an engineer or doctor, but no parent wants his son to grow up as a sports person or a singer, etc. Thank you, Hilam Bhishek Navale. Sorry for
I
wrong
agree with
pronunciation.
this question, sir. I agree with this question because I found it very difficult to convince my parents
Agree,
at one
ma'am.
particular time.
Every household has a story,
This
ma'am.
is a scenario of every household in India.
Every household has a story. Like back then, I still remember I had put my papers on 10th of August. Okay, and I had called my parents, my father, in fact, kind of in which that place where father used to take care of my entire decisions. Which is not wrong because they care for us. Okay, and we need also to understand that they are cared for us because they only want from us. Like the things which they have suffered or they have toiled should not happen to my son or my daughter. Okay. Now, when this thought comes, they always derive towards kind of success number or something which has been tested and something which has been tested and also been acquired by many. So there is how the proof of the concept arises. Okay, now when that thought arises, they try to implement on their kids. Okay, then they think my child is going to become an engineer. Okay, I did it. Okay, I did it pretty well, and when I did it, I went to a job, I landed a job. When I landed a job, then a self realization came. What am I doing? Is it aligned with my heart? Is it aligned with my interest? Something which is not letting me kind of go ahead. Okay, or kind of should I pursue this anymore? Then beautiful like-minded set of people arrived to me and they discussed the idea. We discussed it in thorough way. Okay, we did a proof of concept of the entire idea. We thought, when I am sure I'm going to do this, I have to convince my parents because they have done like much things, and they have suffered a lot. So what should be my responsibility? I need to convince them. I tried calling my father. He said, "Beta, कितना बढ़िया the job है, ठीक है? See how much you are earning. So why are you willing to leave the job?" I said, "पापा, इस बार मैं आपसे पूछ नहीं रहा हूँ. इस बार मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ." That was my way of saying it. Okay, so we didn't talk for like 2 months, and like kind of that was a situation in which my family, my sisters, my small sister, my younger sister, in fact, I would say, these people helped me. These are my pillars, and they said, you do your job, we will take care of the rest of the part. So there, kind of talk to your family also, so that there is someone, if someone is there against your kind of mindset or kind of your he does not or she does not comes into your mind, shares your mindset, there is someone else who would take care of and kind of help you in kind of moving towards that path which you have chosen. So that was my support, how I built it. So I think everyone could have those persons in their life who could convince. I was a lucky one. Maybe, probably, many are not. But I would say at least when you are trying, supposedly if you are trying for sports person or singer, try for different avenues first. First, try to prove your parents कि हाँ ठीक है. You need to prove them first.
पहले वो ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करना होगा कि आप में वो आपके पेरेंट्स में वो ट्रस्ट आ जाए कि आप कर सकते हैं, आप रिस्क ले सकते हैं. वो ट्रस्ट मैटर करता है.
Only when they realize that my child is okay, and kind of he's okay, and I need to be okay with this. Like he is grown up, he can take his decisions. Only then the parents can realize, whatever he is doing he's doing correct or she is doing correct. So that is how you change the perception of your family, and that is how your family evolves. Evolution इसी तरीके से happen होता है. So this is how I would answer that question. Actually, that question clicked me, so that's why I picked up. So that is related to my story, so that's why I thought I should share my story as well. So this is and what I would like to say is I would just add on to Swati. Okay, like there are various things which you need to pursue in order to build your professional career. She said it very beautifully that you need to do certain works, you need to build your profile. Other than that, you need to take up various assignments on your own without thinking that इससे मेरे को क्या फायदा होगा. जब ये लोग सोचने लग जाते हैं ना कि मेरे को इससे फायदा क्या होगा, only then they dilute. And when they dilute, then they do not move towards what they are thinking at first place. So that is what I would like to say. In doing so, they are I would say building connections. Okay, now when they build connections, they are also helping others. Okay, so that is how I would say I would say ki she added very beautifully actually. Now coming back to what we have started is like we started Kohai last year, and since we were in the educational domains, so we had interacted with a hell lot of students in these schools. And when we interacted with these students, we found that there are means kind of each and every child has their own perspective, or even though they haven't built their own perspective, they are different in their by if I say कि जो internal properties होती हैं person की, तो उसके बेसिस पे सब लोग अलग होते हैं. It totally depends upon which family kind of are you coming from, which locality are you coming from, which eco space are you sharing your space with, and that is how the things change. Now when the changes are for good, the good things happen. When the changes are for bad, certain things kind of block your mind, or kind of there is a distraction. Okay, so here we come where we kind of completely focus on the life wellness. Right now you all people over here are in the management cadre, and you are taking up this management degrees from this esteemed institution. So you would always be thinking कि मेरे को क्या करना है आगे. You come from that background. Now you will think कि हाँ, now I should move ahead in this way. Like I have earned a degree in management or MBA. Now you are supposed to do a job relevant to it. Now, how would you decide which domain after the MBA? Like there are ops, there are sales, there are finances, there are accounts, like various other things in various domains in which you are kind of consider moving ahead in the management degree. Which thing to choose? So I would suggest, and here I would like to add on to Swati as well. Like you need to build your resume as of now. You need to build your resume so that कि ये आपको काम आएगा. अब वो resume कैसे बनेगी? How would you build that resume? Someone whom you can find out in the peer groups, or like close connections from LinkedIn or Facebook. You could use your social media accounts, and accordingly you can talk to them. Talk to them for getting yourself mentored from these people. Now this can be a mechanism in which you build your asset and not proving yourself as a liability. If you are getting my point, I would like to add on. अब जब ये resume building हो जाती है, you can talk to people कि in ops domain, which are those companies I should focus. And when you get that answer, you should ask the next question as what should be the interview procedure? How should I react to those questions? You can have tips and bits of that is I would like to say to this answer, to this question, in which people get connected, and that is how they build a relationship, and that is how referrals. So this is all about you can add on to. Now coming back to Kohai, we focus more on life wellness, which is taking care of academic wellness as well as mind wellness. Many people are they might be successful, I think I started with engineering. I landed up with something which is related to commerce or related to psychology. It is an acute mix of. It is a hybrid career, basically. I would say it's a hybrid career of psychology. It's a hybrid of commerce as well as engineering, applied sciences. Okay, so having a mixed background and having met with an enormous number of people in these span, means kind of I'm not that aged but still. तो इसमें ऐसा होता है कि react and you can plan your plan A's and plan B's. So we help you building this thing. When I say about the life wellness, अभी जो decisive career आती है ना, हर स्टूडेंट का एम हो जाता है कि दे शुड गो फॉर अ गुड करियर व्हिच इज लाइक मनी ओरिएंटेड और लाइक इंटरेस्ट ओरिएंटेड और लाइक सक्सेसफुल समथिंग. नाउ सक्सेस इज समथिंग वेरी सब्जेक्टिव, यू नो, नंबर ड्रिवन career path. Number मतलब इतना रुपए मेरे को देखिए 5 लाख back then in 2012 when we were when the companies had arrived to us, they used to quote like they used to say that 5 lakhs per annum, 6 lakhs per annum, which was like pretty decent. And today फिर वही चीज चलती है हर लोगों के साथ. एमबीए में 2 साल बाद आप करोगे, फिर आपको सोचोगे कि हाँ फाइन आई शुड गो विद 12 lakhs per annum और 28 lakhs per annum. ये एक्स जो है ना बड़ा delusional होता है, ठीक है. सो successful career will be more successful if it is in a decisive way. So that is what we do. We help people to move towards their decisive career. And how can that decisive career happen? Only when there is mind wellness. Like जब तक बच्चे का या किसी भी स्टूडेंट का या फिर किसी भी प्रोफेशनल का माइंड अच्छे शेप में नहीं है, they cannot perform, they cannot decide, they cannot think. Until unless they are not devoid of problems, they won't be able to find solutions to some other problems. So that is where we work. We provide the life wellness and we provide the academic wellness. That is how Kohai is involved with the education institutions.
Wonderful. I think this is one of the most exciting webinar because I am able to relate myself. When just a little 1 minute about myself, when I become a placement officer, there was also very few placement officer in University of Mumbai or per se in all over India. But now after a decade, you will see there are lots of corporate relation placement officers you are seeing into the market. So very well you said that whatever is unconventional to you may be not unconventional to me. It is very subjective, and I always believe that I have chosen unconventional career not by choice but by chance. Because of various other factors. But if once you follow your passion, your dream come true. And I completely agree with Swati ma'am that it is important for you to follow your passion and build a competitive advantage to be a successful in your career. So if I understand that, what is the takeaway? Yeah.
Just to add to your point and Amrit's point, I'll just state one part of my life. So when I was in school, I was very, I would say, a little shy and maybe introvert is not the right word, but somebody who is more on the quieter side kind of person. So now, but there was one thing inside me that, first of all, I want to develop my speaking capabilities. I want to be more confident. And the third thing was I want to be self-reliant. So soon after school, I dropped out for some competitive exam. It didn't happen, whatever the case may be. But after that, I thought, so I need to do something to improve myself, right? So at that time, just after school and dropping 1 year, I joined a BPO, right? So that first of all, I actually developed the skills of confidence, how to express yourself. So I worked for almost 2.5 years after school for a call center or a BPO at Genpact, and it tremendously helped me to build my confidence, to increase my self-reliance, to make me understand what all capabilities and abilities I have. So sometimes you have to do certain kind of permutation and combinations, and you might have to go and do certain things which might not be completely related to your career choices, but it will definitely improve you to increase your ability, confidence, structuring things in a certain always try and find out option where you can go and learn, right? And it can be a little unconventional in that mode, but if it is giving you learning, if it is helping you develop your capabilities, I would say go ahead. And slowly you can make your so when I talk to my parents about this, I'm coming from Rajasthan, which people usually consider very conservative. So and it was a night shift. So when I had a word with them, they were completely no. But then when I gave my perspective that why I want to do it, why I want to do this job and how it will help me in increasing my abilities, my capabilities, or my understanding towards life, slowly and slowly they understood and they supported me. So you have to come up with the right reasoning, great amount of research about what you are talking. It should not look like to your parents that you are talking about some random thing because your friends are doing. They should see that spirit and enthusiasm in you, that you really worked hard for it, you know what you're talking about, you have done enough research about the subject, whether it is sports, music, or content writer, or something else unconventional you want to do. So do study that topic, become confident in that topic. I'm sure your parents will understand.
I think that's great. So, we started today's webinar with a question: choosing an unconventional career option, myth or reality? I think it is not a myth, it is a reality. However, if you want to make it a reality, it is important for all of us to plan a better. We should network to build our competitive advantage, and we need to follow our passion. There is no any fixed parameters for a successful. Even if I follow my conventional career options, maybe I will not become a successful. Maybe I will not become a happy. But even if you follow the unconventional career options, the way the Kohai team have done it, I think it is all because of your passion, your dream, and that is the reason you are creating a niche segment for your existence. I'm very happy to invite all the Kohai team on this virtual platform at our institute and giving such a wonderful insights and talk to all of us. I'm also very thankful to our institute director, Dr. Smita Shukla, for giving me a go ahead to do such program, because we keep on doing such unconventional career talk for our students so that they should give a very inclusive approach. And I'm very happy that this discussion has moved in a very right direction. And it was a need of the hour, because management students always think मेरा package क्या होगा, मेरा CTC क्या होगा, what could be my job profile. But I think with this today's talk, we should be able to get in a very different approach altogether. This is not I am telling you. I have my one student, Rahul Sankhe, who is a part of today's session, and Rahul would like to share this feedback with all of you. So, Rahul, go ahead and create your impression before all of us.
Uh, thank you so much, ma'am. Uh, Thanks to the Kohai team, actually, we were able to understand how unconventional or how not so conventional ways we can.
Rahul, can I stop you? I can't see you.
Yeah, so sorry, ma'am. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
just a sec.
yeah.
Yeah, hi. Am I visible now?
No, not yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, now
yeah,
you are. Yeah,
yeah.
great.
I'm so sorry. Uh, so, based based on what the what how this session has gone for now, we are able to more or less conclude or like come to a conclusion of our own that non-conventional or unconventional ways of career can be helpful or can be something that we can perceive as a very viable option for us in the coming years. As the Kohai team is here and a living proof of that. Someone who is an engineer, someone who is an IIM graduate, who is completely getting into psychology altogether. So there is no limitation to what you can do based on just your career choices or the previous degrees that you have. So I feel this is something that I really took away from it. Your previous I would say decisions won't really affect anything else. It may take a little while to reach the level where you want to, but yeah, it will be there. That is what I would like to say.
Correct. I feel you. Correctly said.
संघर्ष से जीवन है.
Thank you, Rahul, for forming the impression and giving your feedback to us. Thank you once again to everyone, even the participants, for joining us. And we had 100 plus, registration for today's webinar. And I think it was from all over India. I have already shared, and the feedback also I will share with the team. And Smita ma'am, from here, I request for your permission to conclude our today's webinar.
Yes, Kavita, go ahead. You can do that. And just as a closing thing, I like to say one thing. I enjoyed every minute of what all the three speakers said. So thank you, Abhishek, Amrit, and Swati. I enjoyed everything which you stated. And my observation is that you all three of you are very very genuine. The way you expressed yourself, it was all from heart. And my request to all the participants will be kindly visit their website, Kohai, as well as Lab Cafe. I've been to their website, and Lab Cafe, Kohai, definitely it's doing something which is very, very unconventional, mentoring and coaching students, specifically in the age when they really need it most. Lab Cafe, I found very interesting. The idea. I have not seen many matlab, companies seeing it. It's very unconventional, that too. So my request to all the participants will be look at their choices. And I think the line below everything which they said, not just passion which you back by hard work. That is what creates the difference. So thank you once again.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
These words mean a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Smita ma'am. Participants will get the feedback link on our WhatsApp group chat. We will send you before 9 o'clock. And I hope we will see you soon at our institute. You all are based in very different parts of India, but maybe very soon we will meet you personally, and we will make sure that our collaboration continue further as well.
Sure, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am.
Good luck.
Thank
Here
you.
I conclude our
Thank you,
today's
ma'am.
session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
So here I conclude our today's session, and we will meet up soon. Thank you.